Have you ever felt like you're stuck? Who seems to do everything right but continues without strength, without progress, without respect? Nietzsche did not hate the weak out of cruelty. He hated what makes people weak, even when they think they're doing right. Virtues such as humility, piety, and traditional morals seem noble, but for Nietzsche, they are often just disguises for powerlessness, resentment, and self-deception. Modern society praises you when you conform, surrender, silence. Nietzsche saw this as a red flag. When you start calling weakness virtue, you start dying inside. In this video, you will understand why lying to yourself is the beginning of weakness, how moral resentment turns you into a saboteur in disguise, what Nietzsche said about will, pity, the denial of life, and how all of this still shapes the world today, and most importantly, how to break this cycle and build strength that no one can take from you. This is not self-help. This is raw philosophy. Nietzsche didn't want to console you. I wanted to wake you up, and maybe today is your day to wake up. There is a type of weakness that Nietzsche considered worse than any external defeat. The weakness that hides behind an internal lie. You don't face the pain, you rename it maturity. You don't face frustration, you call it detachment. You don't admit you failed, you say you didn't really want to. This is the moralized self-deception, and Nietzsche saw this as one of the greatest corruptions of the human spirit. A classic example of this is Dostoevsky's short story, White Nights. The protagonist is rejected by a woman he loves, but tries to convince himself that he is happy because she is happy. It's just a lie. He suffers. He lies to himself. He tries to appear virtuous, but he is only avoiding the pain of the truth. Nietzsche saw this behavior as an escape from reality. It's not overcoming. It's aesthetic cowardice. You don't change your desire, you just pretend it doesn't exist anymore. The problem is not getting what you want. The problem is inventing a moral to justify it. Like, I'm not successful, but at least I'm a good person. I don't have strength, but at least I'm kind. I couldn't do it, but at least I tried. All of this seems beautiful, but it hides a defeated, disorganized, unable to look in the mirror and say, I failed. Nietzsche didn't demand that you always win. He demanded that you stop lying when you lost. Because it's only from the brutal truth that you can start to build real strength. If you continue to protect yourself with beautiful words, you will never touch the hard ground that supports transformation. Lying to the world is bad, but lying to yourself is what really keeps you weak. When someone cannot achieve what they want, they have two options. Either he recognizes that he needs to evolve, or he invents a moral to justify his impotence. Nietzsche called this slave morality, a morality born of resentment. The resentful person does not say, I want to be strong. He says, being strong is wrong. He transforms envy into virtue. It transforms the pain of not having it into a speech against those who have it. It's the fox from Aesop's fable. As he can't reach the grapes, he says they're green. The most visible example of this today is the resentful nice guy. He brags about being different from others, about treating women well, about being truly good. But when he is rejected, he shows his truth. He attacks, humiliates, disdains. i.e., it was never kindness, it was resentment disguised as virtue. Nietzsche saw this reaction as social poison, because not only does it not transform anything, it also tries to destroy anyone who refuses to be weak. For him, the resentful person doesn't want to win. He wants no one else to win. This kind of resentful morality creates a system where success becomes suspect, strength becomes oppression, and brilliance becomes arrogance. But the truth is simple. Those who have light bother those who live in shadow by choice. Nietzsche believed that true ethics is not born from resentment, but from overcoming it. It's not about hating the strong. It's about becoming strong enough to not need to hate anyone. If you feel angry with those who are where you want to be Be careful. You may not be being fair, you may just be resentful. Nietzsche did not believe that weakness was just a lack of external power. True weakness is when your own will collapses. Imagine your mind as an army. If the soldiers march in opposite directions, you will never advance. You want to undertake, but are afraid of judgment. You want to impose yourself, but you need everyone's approval. You want to change your life, but you sabotage yourself with distractions. This constant internal conflict is what Nietzsche calls disorganized will. For him, a weak person is not just the one who loses. It's those who can't decide where they're going, who lives in whatever, who starts and stops, who plans and sabotages. This internal oscillation, this absence of center, is what prevents the force from being born. Nietzsche believed that a strong will is one that is unified, that knows what it wants and can sustain that want over time. It's not an impulse, it's persistence, it's consistency of intention. And that only happens when you stop negotiating with your fears. The weak are slaves to the last stimulus. The strong are true to their own path. One is carried away by the desires of the moment. The other organizes these desires and chooses a greater purpose. You don't need to dominate the world, but you do need to dominate yourself. And that starts by aligning what you think, feel, and do. The strength you admire in others is not charisma. It is internal coherence. They know what they want, and for this reason, they are feared, respected, or followed. Nietzsche says, you only start to be truly strong when your will stops sabotaging itself. Nietzsche did not hate those who suffered. He hated it when suffering became a tool for manipulation. Modern society loves to glorify piety, helping those at the bottom, welcoming the weak, protecting the fragile. But Nietzsche saw a dangerous game there, a dynamic where no one grows. They only survive by being dependent. For him, piety is a form of power disguised as virtue. Whoever feels pity puts himself above, and whoever receives it learns to depend. It's not help, it's emotional control. The problem is not helping. It's about creating a relationship where one never climbs and the other never lets go. It's the savior syndrome. I care for you, but you never really grow stronger. Nietzsche differentiates piety from generosity. Genuineness. It's when someone strong helps because they are overflowing with power. Pity is when someone helps to feel needed or morally superior. He who keeps asking for mercy is saying to the world, I'm weak, treat me like a poor thing. And the world obeys. But it comes at a price. You lose respect from others, and most seriously, from yourself. Receiving too much pity gets you used to not trying hard. You start using your pain as currency. You begin to expect the world to adapt to your limitations, rather than overcome them. Nietzsche saw pity as a prison disguised as affection. It creates emotional bonds that impede growth. It's like a medicine that alleviates the symptom, but spreads the disease. If someone truly loves you, they won't treat you as fragile. He will treat you as capable. And if you want to evolve, you need to stop looking for arms that welcome you and start looking for mirrors that confront you. Nietzsche says, pity keeps you small. Pain faced makes you great. Nietzsche didn't just attack people, he attacked ideas, especially ideas that turn weakness into doctrine. According to him, some philosophies, religions, and ethical systems were created by resentful people who could not deal with life as it is. And so, they decided to say that life is bad, dirty, sinful, or useless. He called this passive nihilism, the denial of life as an escape from personal failure. Paul's Christianity, Schopenhauer's philosophy, and part of Platonism are direct targets of Nietzsche. He accused them of preaching suffering as a virtue, sacrifice as redemption, and submission as a path to good. For Nietzsche, these ideas were not born of force, they were born of organized weakness. Men who could not assert their will began to say that will was sin. Men who had no power created a heaven where the weak would be rewarded for remaining silent. He saw it as a metaphysical revenge of the defeated. Instead of fighting to win in real life, they invented an afterlife where they would be kings. And with that, they justified their failure with theological poetry. But Nietzsche defended the opposite. Amor fati, the love of destiny. Love life as it is, with pain, chaos, uncertainty, and pleasure. Accept everything. Embrace everything. Total affirmation. Weakness wants to escape from life. Strength learns to dance with her. You don't need another life. You need to live this with more intensity, more clarity, more courage. And to do that, you need to stop using philosophy as an excuse. Nietzsche didn't want you to follow divine rules. He wanted you to create your own, because in the end, the greatest form of weakness is to wish to be saved from living. After dismantling all illusions, Nietzsche does not leave you in a vacuum. He offers a way out, but not a comfortable exit, a demanding exit. Nietzsche believed that human beings have only one real duty: to overcome themselves. Not to be good, not to be accepted, not to be loved, but to become someone greater than you were yesterday. This is the path of the Übermensch, the beyond man. Not a superhero, not a tyrannical ruler. He is the one who breaks with inherited values and builds his own. He is the one who no longer needs applause, herd morale, a promised sky. He lives by what he himself claims to be true. Nietzsche saw life as a rope stretched between the animal and the beyond man. And the meaning of existence lies precisely in the unstable balance of this crossing. Overcoming, for him, was not about defeating others. It was about not betraying yourself. You don't have to be the strongest, but you do have to be the most consistent with your own strength. You need to listen to your will, organize your impulses, cut out the excuses, face the pain, and continue anyway. Real strength does not scream. She builds, in silence, with discipline, with presence. Nietzsche hated spiritual comfort, artificial peace, emotional lies. He wanted you to become worthy of the life you have, not because of divine merit, but because of your own will. You didn't come into the world to follow a script. You came to write yours, and only when you stop asking for permission to exist is that he begins, in fact, to live with strength. Nietzsche was called crazy, cruel, an enemy of morals. But maybe he was just saying what no one wanted to hear. He didn't want to destroy the world. I wanted to destroy the lies that weaken you. Lies like suffering is virtue, failure is purity. Life is a test for another, better life. To him, all this was poison, served with a smile. The truth? Life is hard, but it's yours. And if you don't have the strength to affirm this life, with everything it brings, pain, pleasure, loss, achievement, then you will live like a shadow, as a reflection of the wishes of others, like a piece on the board of someone more determined. Nietzsche did not write to please. He wrote to wake up, to make you look in the mirror and ask, is this life I'm leading really mine? Or is it just a cowardly repetition of what is expected of me? You can keep lying to yourself. You can continue to protect yourself with excuses, with beautiful phrases, with easy virtues, or you can do what almost no one has the courage to do. Organize your will, assume your pain, assert your existence, and become someone the world can no longer ignore. Not because you shout, but because you live so strongly that the world hears even in silence. If you liked the video, Subscribe for more content for reflection, introspection, and self-knowledge.